Now at 6, some people in South Central still reeling, feeling the effects of the wind rolling over from the weekend. Video of a man here you're watching not able to keep his feet, continuously getting knocked to the ground.
That is some wild footage. At some points, the winds reached hurricane force levels and have caused power outages. At the last check, the Matanuska Electric Association's outage map shows more than 6,000 people still do not have power. Crews say the powerful winds slowed down some of their recovery efforts.
Well, our Danny Tompkins has been following this story, speaking with people affected.
She shows us more of the damage left behind and what's next for many.
Take a look at this telephone pole behind me that's blown over in the hurricane-like winds that are still blowing through the Wasilla and Mat-Su area on Monday. They've ripped roofs off of buildings and flipped over semis. And we've checked in with local businesses and residents across the area to see how everyone is dealing with the wind.
This is a whole nother level of insanity.
The wind has been horrible driving. You know, it pushes you all over the road.
The windstorm that slammed the valley this weekend tore off most of the roof of Settlers Bay Lodge in Wasilla.
I know the morale of my staff is a little defeated at this point, and I'm sure other people in the community are feeling that.
Broda says it will take months to rebuild what was damaged.
One of those things that you're powerless over, so you control, worry about the things you can control.
While some places like Settlers Bay Lodge still have power, many are still struggling with intermittent outages.
Today we're open. We had a major windstorm. All the power's off. Right now we're helping the community by keeping the doors open. We got team members helping guests out. We're not serving cold food because our freezers are down, but we're on backup generators, so we want to make sure the community is able to get the needed supplies they need.
Despite the challenges, residents are making the most of it, even getting in some Christmas shopping at Target.
It's the only place that's open except for Sportsman's.
But the biggest surprise for some, just how long this storm's impact has lasted.
That's why I tell everybody I've never seen it last this long. So usually I have it for a day or so and then it disappears, but it's hanging on.
Power crews are still working to restore electricity, but outages are still intermittent. Now, people are still out running errands, but staying safe as they wait for the storm to pass. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
We first alerted you to these incoming winds last week. Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry joining us now.
Melissa, is there any relief from the wind and the cold?
Not from the cold. That's here to stay for at least another week. But yes, the wind is going to start to taper off here in the next 12 hours or so. So some improvement is on the way. Now, current conditions showing, again, those temperatures in Palmer right at 20 degrees. But we're seeing wind gusts still at this hour to 55 miles per hour. And that is really what has been extremely unique about this event. Like you heard there in the story that, residents in Palmer, Wasilla used to extreme wind, especially this time of year, but not for this long of duration. We're now going on 4 days, and that high wind warning, it is still in effect for the Matanuska Valley, including Wasilla and Palmer, through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, what has improved is the wind speeds no longer up over 85 miles per hour, being reduced slightly, still seeing those gusts possible to 75 miles per hour. But with the cold air and the extreme wind, we still have those dangerous wind chill values as low as 20 below tonight. So again, be prepared for that, but no, the winds are slowly improving. I do hope it's a better night for you tonight and we start to see those conditions improving quickly. Peak wind gusts today in Palmer was 83 miles per hour. Another day with winds to 55 in downtown Anchorage and out near the airport, 52 in Kenai. Also seeing that extreme wind in Valdez to nearly 70 miles per hour and high winds through Thompson Pass as well. For the north, it is cold. That cold air has set in Fairbanks, 27 below currently, and we do still have winter storm warnings in effect near Ketchikan. More snow on the way there. Temperatures will drop into the single digits overnight tonight. Some of the coldest air we have seen so far this season. And again, that is a trend you need to get used to. We'll see those temperatures sub-zero in many areas of the state for high temperatures. Now have a closer look at that full extended forecast coming up next.
All right, Melissa, thank you so much. The University of Alaska Fairbanks says the Center for Teaching and Learning will be reorganized and rolled into the Office of Faculty Affairs and Services.
Now, the change comes a little more than 2 years after its creation. The CTL says it helps at UAF by assisting with student outcomes and class development. CTL staff says that the reorganization will cause 14 position losses and the elimination of some programs. Alaska's news source reached out to UAF administration but have not yet heard back. In a press release, the university says the reorganization will continue to provide course development and design support for faculty.
And in politics today, the minority Republican Party divided. That's after some lawmakers have been vocal about their distaste for the selection of House Minority Leader Delana Johnson.
Now, on the latest edition of the Alaska Political Pipeline podcast, political reporter Will Courtney speaks with Alaska Beacon's James Brooks on what the party division means for the legislative session.
James, when we're seeing all this public backlash against the selection process, what does that mean for party unity going into what could be a pretty high-stakes legislative session?
Folks who are unhappy with Delana Johnson being appointed as minority leader are trying to rally support, public support, to change legislators' minds in the minority and elect someone different. And my understanding is that right now the votes aren't there.
We've got that extended conversation with Will available right now on our website, mobile app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Now let's head over to a holiday consumer alert as the state's postal inspector says package theft and scams are rising.
Our Johnson Kuhn here with an in-depth look. Johnson, we know that holiday season means scam season, but these scams are getting more sophisticated.
That's right, John. Sophisticated and complicated. He told me about scams like quishing or brushing. These essentially involve fraudsters sending you products you never ordered. They can then take that opportunity to write fake reviews for the product in your name. They can also include envelopes with QR codes designed to steal your personal information.
In addition to speaking with the U.S. Postal Inspector, what does the Better Business Bureau have to say about this?
Yeah, they're also saying that they're seeing these various scams on the rise as well, and they're urging people to watch out and reminding people, just like the Postal Inspector, of packages being stolen. Now, beyond those reminders, they say there are several steps to follow to protect yourself. For instance, arranging specific delivery times, verifying sellers before buying, and never scanning unknown QR codes, just to name a few of those. And we break all that down in our story for you.
All right, Johnson Kuhn reporting. Thank you, Johnson. You can watch the full report right now on our website and our mobile app. Well, it is the newest art installation lighting up downtown Anchorage.
And it was a long time in the making. Our Justin Matson joins us from downtown with the president of the Mushing District, where the lights are twinkling tonight.
Hey, Justin, how's that display looking?
Yeah, folks, it is very cold out here, but those lights are still twinkling right there. The cold has not set in too bad yet. I am with Jim Hiddle, the president of the Anchorage Mushing Association. How are you doing today, Jim?
Yeah, very good. Cold, as you said.
Very, very cold out here. So you just set the lights up on Friday. Tell me a little bit about how long in the making just setting the lights up has been.
Well, to get this far, it's taken us about 10 years, or actually, the project goes back more than that, maybe a dozen years ago. But we just actually did the construction here in 1 week, actually putting it up. But it was fabricated here in Anchorage, and it was put up about 2 weeks ago. And then we had a lighting ceremony last Friday evening.
Yeah, and how does it feel to finally see all of your work kind of paying off here?
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's something that we talked about forever. And, you know, the Mushing District includes the arch, which is our focal point, but we've also got banners up and down the street. We've got bronze dog paws in the sidewalk that people buy. We're going to have interpretive signs, and we have a walking tour also.
Yeah, and this is just kind of the start of the revitalization. You were telling me while we were huddling inside the Fur Rondi building that you've actually got more to come. So tell me a little bit about what's to come still.
Yeah, this is the first phase of actually the arch. This summer we're going to finish at the base of the arch. There's 4 pedestals. We're going to have bronze sleeping dogs on top of those. We're going to have a concrete base around the arch, and then plaques with the names of all the donors.
Yeah, and how excited are you to see it kind of come into fruition with the Iditarod just around the corner?
Yeah, it's really perfect timing. Of course, for Rendezvous is the last week in February, and then Iditarod is the first Saturday in March. So those two are just 1 week apart, and there's 2 weeks of the Fur Rondi celebration when people are really downtown.
Yeah, and we are going to try to get out of your way here so that you guys can take one final look at the arch as we wrap it up in the Mushing District. I'm Justin Matson for Alaska's News Source.
All right, Justin Matson, downtown Anchorage, looking good. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's News Source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.